Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining me. This is Ciara from Ciara T Designs, and today is my week 8 of the 12 Weeks of Christmas series, so let's jump right in. So as usual, I am going to cut down my cardstock, and a big shocker, I am not going to mat this card. I'm going to cut down my base, though, to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than, my panel to be about 1/4 of an inch smaller than the base. Just to give myself a pretty good margin around where my layers are going to be so you can see the background pretty well. And then I'm going to go in with 3 different colors of Distress Oxide ink. These are my preferred for ink blending. I just love how the colors go down. And for my blue panel, I'm going to use Tumbled Glass, Broken China, and Uncharted Mariner. Sorry about the little bit of jiggling there. I'm trying to get my stand to not do that, but it is a bit of a work in progress as I kind of do upgrades to my crafting space. So bear with me. I apologize for the little bit of jiggling that happens when I blend, but hopefully it's not too irritating for you guys. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a purple blend as well. You guys know I love purple for Christmas. Purple and blue are probably my favorite combo for Christmas. But of course, you could absolutely do this in a Christmas palette instead. You could do, say, one ombre of red and one ombre of, green and do that as your cards instead. It's just that I happen to love kind of non-traditional colors for Christmas cards, so I do tend to go that route when I sit down to create my Christmas cards. But there is no right or wrong. This could easily be changed into any kind of color palette you want. So whatever you prefer, I'm just trying to give you some fun ideas. And I do really like that color combo for the blues. I think it's really, really pretty. So then I'm going to go in with my purples. I started with Shaded Lilac, then I'm going to go into Wilted Violet, and then Villainous Potion. And again, like I said, you can change this up, do whatever you want for the color palette. You could actually do a lot of things with this card set. I think it's fairly versatile. I'm of course going to make them into Christmas cards because that's what I'm currently working on. But I think you could easily change this up. Like I'm going to add snowflakes here in a little bit. But if you didn't want them to be snowflakes, you could add a floral die cut. You could add a birthday present or birthday balloons. I feel like this design really leans itself well towards any kind of sentiment you want to add to it. Of course, I'm going with a snowflake, but I really feel like you could change this up and do whatever the heck you wanted to. This could make a beautiful birthday card. Do it in the person's favorite color palette and then add some balloons or some gifts or even a bow would look really pretty. So keep that in mind, and this is easy to recreate. I think the longest part of this is probably the ink blending, but you could, I don't know. I love ink blending, so this is one of my favorite techniques because I think you just get beautiful, vibrant colors fairly quickly. So I really like doing that, but there are so many ways you could change up this card and make it your own and make it really pretty and be a little different. And I did go in with a bit of my Distress Spritz. I used Wilted Violet on the purple one, and then I used Broken China on the blue panel. And then I did add a little bit of the Perfect Pearls I keep mixed up in a mini mister bottle just because I love the sheen that it adds. I think that it's just really, really pretty. And of course, you don't see much of the shimmer until we dry it. So I did bring in my heat tool and just started the drying process here so that it wouldn't transfer when I go to start die cutting, which is our next step. So you don't have to. You could absolutely let these air dry. There's no right or wrong here. This is just that I get impatient because I do sit down and make my cards in one sitting. So I get a little impatient and I don't like to let things air dry as a general rule, unless it's something I think looks better when it air dries. So I do have my heat tool just so I can do that. Now I brought in a nested circle die. This, you could change this up. If you had nested hearts, you could do a heart shape and make this a Valentine's Day card. This is what I mean when I think that this design really lends itself well to a few different ideas. If you had nested star dies, they don't even have to be nested. It would just have to be a fairly substantial size, just so you do get to cut out a fair piece of the design. And then I'm going to cut that out of both of my panels because I am going to make 4 cards with this, though I'm going to use my panel. I only have 2 panels. I am going to make 4 cards. So then I switched up my cutting plates for the switch. That is what I use. It is just sitting off to the left of me when I create. And I'm going to run the snowflake through from the Tim Holtz Vault Winter Wishes. This is probably one of my favorite new snowflake dies because it's so pretty and it lends itself really well to kind of, layer up because it's fairly open as well. So If you guys have been with me for a little while, you know that I love to layer my snowflake dies. I love the look that it gives. I feel like it just gives you such a beautiful full look on your snowflake. So I'm going to cut that large snowflake down 4 times. I'm only going to show you it twice. And then I'm going to bring in the Snowflake 3D Impresslet. I honestly don't think you can purchase this anymore, so I'm sorry about that, but any smaller snowflake you have would work here. I just want something small to go on top of that larger snowflake to add that layered feeling and look. So any snowflake would work here. And I am just double checking that it did cut out nicely from this glitter cardstock, just to double sure, because if it doesn't, then I'll run it back through, because I do have to play with my sandwich a little bit generally to remember how to get it to cut properly, because now I've done 3 different sandwiches in this video alone just to make sure that my die cuts are cutting properly. So I do always double check my glitter cardstock, because I find that one and Yupo are some of the hardest to get cut nicely. So I did just double check that. And yes, I can use my nails as pokey tools. I get that comment a lot. I generally don't when I'm doing something as small as this snowflake here, but I can just to double check that it has cut through properly. And I did leave this clip in just for you guys. 2 of my kittens had to come visit. Mist, of course, is quality checking all of my pokey tool work. She needs to make sure that it's up to snuff. And then Ember is gonna just wander through here in a second she just likes to make sure that I'm doing my job to the best of my ability. So I left this clip in for you guys just because I think it's funny here in a second when she pretty much just blocks the whole camera. Mist, of course, being the lady that she is, just kind of sits beside me and, supervises, but Ember will just plow on through and does not care at all that she's, walking on all the stuff. I love them so much. It's so funny. It's just really, really enjoyable when they come and help me create. So I did have to leave this in for you guys. So all I did, of course, was going through and poke out all the little bits that were in the snowflakes. I did it for all of them. I'm only going to show it to you here with the 2. And then, of course, Ember is going to rub on the camera as well, so it jiggles around and it gets in the way. It's just incredibly adorable. And a lot of fun. But I did poke out all of the bits here, and then I built my snowflakes. We had a little cuddle first, and then I built all of my snowflakes after that. And then we can kind of start going forward with designing the card and putting it all together, because I am going to layer up my snowflakes, as I said. So I'm going to start with just a touch of glue in the center of the large snowflake. And I do find you have to give this paper a second to grab. I find the glitter cardstocks are like that. This is the Tim Holtz Sparkles Classic. I don't know if I mentioned that in the silver, because that package comes with silver and gold. And I love it because none of the glitter flakes off. It doesn't do anything. It's a printed glitter cardstock, which still mind boggles me when I think about it. But I do find that you do need to kind of hold it for a little bit to get it to grab properly. And then, because you guys know I love the bling and the glitter, I did add some matte silver pearls to the center of my snowflakes. And here you can see Ember's foot. She is sitting off to the side watching me build snowflakes. They did keep me company throughout this card creation, so that was a lot of fun. And you don't need to add the gem to the center if you don't want to. You could add a gem, a pearl, whatever you want to do. I just like how it looks, so I do tend to add that in. And then to make sure it was going to adhere to my silver cardstock, I did kind of press down with the bottom of my embellishment wand just to make sure that it really grabbed. And now we're going to start kind of putting them together. We have all the elements except for the sentiment, which we will do here in a second. And I opted to line up my circle to the edge of the card base. I kind of liked how that looked. You could leave a white border here if you wanted to, but I just liked it like that. And then when I do the full piece, I line it up where it would be with the, border around the whole panel. So there's no right or wrong here. Completely do what you think looks better. But for me personally, if I had the whole panel here, this is where I would have lined it up. I just opted to move the circle over to the edge so you get that more of a cutout look. I kind of like how that looks, but there's no right or wrong at all. As long as you like how it looks and you're happy with it, that's really all that matters in creating stuff. So really all that matters. So if you guys don't know, which I'd be shocked if you didn't, I am getting very close to 10,000 subscribers. I'm so excited about it, and I'm almost there, but not quite. So if you enjoy my content and you want to hang out and you want to support my dreams, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm getting really close, and my dream is to hit at 10,000 before the end of the year. So we have, a few weeks yet. So hopefully that we're going to do that. And then I have some great stuff planned for January. So hopefully you'll want to stick around and, keep me company as we kind of move through this growth of my channel. I've put in a lot of work, so to see it grow is just so exciting. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so, so much. I know I say that to a lot to you guys. Sorry about my head here. I just needed to make sure that my sentiment was lined up. I know I say that to you guys so much, but I am incredibly thankful to you all, you coming to support my dreams and hang out with me and support the channel. And I can't express how much that means to me. So thank you guys so, so much from the bottom of my heart. I just greatly appreciate you. So I did use a sentiment from the Christmas Blessing stamp set by Simon Says Stamp. You guys know, if you've been here for a minute, that is my favorite Christmas sentiment stamp. I think I've used it on every Christmas card so far because I love it so much. And I did prep my surface with my anti-static powder tool. That's just to help the static stay down and hope that the embossing powder will grab the sentiment, not the area that hopefully by this point is completely dry, because I did, many things to this panel before I ended up adhering it to the card base. So by this point it should be dry, but if it isn't 100%, the anti-static powder tool will help keep it from adhering, adding any powder where it doesn't belong. So when I go to melt it, you don't have all these little speckles. So that's kind of its purpose. And I find that it works really well as I live in a fairly dry climate. So static can be a pretty big problem here. So this just kind of helps with that. So I always use it when I do any kind of embossing. But yeah, so I'm just going to add my sentiment. And again, this is my favorite stamp set. If I was only going to purchase one sentiment stamp set for Christmas, this would 100% be what I would buy, because there are like 20 something sentiments in this stamp set. And it's this beautiful mix of scripty font and then kind of a more bold font. Like, it's just stunning. So if you are in the market for a stamp set that has stunning Christmas sentiments, this is my go-to. I own the dies for it as well, just because I like that variation. But the stamp set alone is stunning on its own. So keep that in mind if you're in the market. And of course, Black Friday is coming, so I don't know if Simon's going to do some sales, but if they do, that would be a great time to pick it up if you're interested. That also means that it is Thanksgiving for my American friends, so I hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving. I originally had a live planned for Thursday that normally would be when I do my live streams. However, I decided to move it. Most of the people who come and hang out with me in my live streams are American, and I love them so much, and I don't want to intrude on their day with their family and their loved ones. So I moved my live stream now to the 5th of December instead. So I won't be live streaming this week. I will have a video for you in its place, but I won't be live streaming. So you can come join me on the 5th of December if you want to come and hang out in the live stream with me. I'd love to see you. I do them generally every second Thursday at 3 p.m. at Pacific Standard Time. However, I have to shake up the schedule a little bit between December and January. I just have some plans going on, so I will have to move the days a little bit, but I will tell you about them, of course, in the videos. And I do have, if you go to the live tab on my channel, it will show you a little thumbnail and time and in your time zone and what we're working on in that video. So if you're at all interested, come and hang out. I'd love to have you. I'd love to see you. We have a lot of fun in those lives, and they're just a lot of fun to hang out and visit with you guys. So please come join me if you're at all interested. But yes, there won't be one this week. It will be next week. So next Thursday. And yeah, so then of course I just had to add a couple more pieces of bling to this. You guys know, if you've been with me at any time at all, I love pearls. They have to be one of my favorite embellishments, is pearls. So I had to add just a couple more across the panel just to finish the design off. And I love how these cards turned out. But as I said, these could easily be changed into any kind of design you want them to be, birthday, Christmas. I'm sure you could put leaves in the place of the snowflake and make them like a Thanksgiving thankful card, anything like that. I think they really could be adapted into any kind of card that you need in your stash. So definitely consider that if you're looking to make something and you want to use this idea to make those cards. So I'm just showing you a close-up of all of them here so you can check them out in all of their glory. I think they turned out beautifully. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. So I hope you'll leave me a like, leave me a comment, and please consider subscribing. As I said, it is my dream to hit 10,000 and we're getting close. So I think it's going to happen and I'm incredibly excited. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you again on Thursday for my next video. Bye-bye for now.